Hello and welcome to Sparring Sessions. My name is Dax, and we're here today to break down UFC Fight Night Zhang versus Walker. First, though, I'm not doing this by myself. I always got to bring a co-host, unless I don't want anybody to watch it, in which case I will not bring a co-host on that case. UFC Genie, how you doing today, Genie?
You know, I g- I've had better days. I mean, I thought
Yeah,
DDP. I look like a fool, don't I? I did pretty terrible on picks last night too. 6-6. When do I ever go 50% on picks? That's
six
sad.
and
Um,
six. Yeah. Unfortunately, I actually have your picks here. Nothing crazy. I mean, DDP was probably the craziest one that you picked, right?
yeah. Listen, people harp on me for not picking underdogs, and then when I pick an underdog, the amount of shit that I get is insane. It's like, man,
Yeah.
did anyone think Hamzat was not going to gas out if it had gone past the third round? No. Who thought he was going to be able to rinse and repeat takedowns the entire fight?
I don't know. I had to
Not
not go the
me.
distance as one of my legs that I did there, and that didn't do so hot. That didn't do so hot. I had a chunk of money on it. It was the last leg of several of my parlays, and I'm just like, oh, please, just I was screaming, please, just finish him.
It could
But
have been
no,
worse. You
that
could have
did
also
not
picked
happen.
Aaron Pico.
Well, good fight night overall, though. I won a little bit of money. Um, I didn't give official bets out because I wasn't on best bets. Did the sparring sessions parlay of the week cash? I
Oh, that's
think
a
it was. I think it was. I my leg cashed. It was the Gerald fight tonight go to decision. Um, I want to say MVP was in there, right? What was your leg?
yeah. I think I had MVP, or I am blanking on this right now, man.
Wow. Well,
I
geez.
think it might have cashed though because the ones that I went heavy on, the ones that I was confident in, I did win. Like I had
Yeah.
MVP decision. I was pretty confident in him.
I can't remember if somebody
Um,
picked Asakura
I had
or
Loopy. Loopy was
Pratchess.
my leg in the parlay, and then Will had. I can't even think of who Will had in the
Mm, wow.
parlay.
We'll save that for best bets. I'll make sure.
Yeah,
I listened to the
we'll have
episode,
to.
so I know Loopy was in there, and then I think it was some combination of MVP, Kai, and Precious. So maybe one of those. You know what? We'll save it. Uh,
Yeah.
let's yeah. Overall, good fight night. Or good pay-per-view. I'd say main event or main card certainly a lot better than the prelims. You got a few fights that were pretty sloggy there, you know. Even some of the finishes were like kind of sloggy too. The Hooper Hernandez one was a bad fight until then. But yeah, I enjoyed it. And get the feeling we're gonna enjoy this fight night too. UFC Fight Night Zhang versus Walker going down in the Shanghai Indoor Stadium, Shanghai, China. Do you think you could point to Shanghai on a map? If I gave you like four cities in China, how confident are you that you could pick Shanghai out of that?
30%, I'd say. China's a
30%.
big. Listen, I was looking at it the other day. China is fucking massive.
Yeah. It's
It's
the
like way
second biggest
bigger than
country in
what
the
I
world.
actually thought. Yeah, it is fucking massive.
Oh yeah. Uh, we're not here for a geography lesson though. Believe me, I would excel in geography. If this were a geography show, I would win every single card. Anyway, 12 fights. Minying Zhang versus Johnny Walker in the main event. Some ranked guys, a 5 round co-main, some relevant fights, I'll say, and then some fun ones. So, Jeannie, you know how we do it here. Give me your overall rating for the card, as a whole, not for any individual fight.
So, overall for the card, I am gonna go with like 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
It's lacking in the name value aspect. I mean, the top three fights, there's a bit of name value. Like Aljamain Sterling, Brian Ortega, Sergey Pavlovich, they're not like their names at least. And main event like Johnny Walker, and he's been around. He's fought a lot of the who's who in the light heavyweight division. Ming Yang
Hmm.
Zhang's kind of working his way up. So, but lower down in the card, like it is severely lacking in the name value aspect. But it's a China card. You can't really complain that it's mostly Asian fighters filled up the on the
Hmm.
card, right? So
Yeah, I'm a little higher. I think I'll give this a B minus. I think it could be super fun. I love morning MMA. I'll wake up at 6 a.m. to watch this main card. Oh yeah, 3 a.m. start time, 6 a.m. main card. I'm not going to be watching. Let's see. Okay. So the bout order is pretty official. Top five. They didn't put Michelle Pereira on the main card, right? They put him on the prelims.
nope.
Okay. Top five. If this is how it's going to stay, um, I'm happy waking up for this main card. I think we're going to get a lot of good fights, and then maybe one bit really bad one. Um, there's one fight on the prelims that no, that's not true. Three fights on the prelims that I would want to get up for. Except if it were at 6 a.m., I would get up. So I'm gonna give it a B minus. Yeah, let's jump right in. Well, I actually real quick, we had two fights that kind of fell off. Michelle Pereira was supposed to fight Marco Tulio. Tulio fell out, and Kenan Song was supposed to fight Kiefer Crosby. Song pulled out. Both of them have replacements. We'll talk about both of them in a second. So first fight of the night, 3 a.m. Yuran Soti Baldiev versus DR Nergoje. I sure hope they don't have DC doing this one because DC would suck. DC and Rogan, these are some bad names for them. Um, Salty Baldiev is coming off of
I
a
don't think Joe
loss.
Rogan's waking up at 3 a.m.
Oh no, he's not going to China. What do you mean? Uh, uh, both these guys coming off a loss. Uran Sotibaldiyev is coming off a loss, up a weight class on short notice against Martin Budai, recently released Martin Budai. I actually thought he won that fight. I had money on Martin Budai, and I thought I was scared because I thought Salty won. But he's coming back down to light heavyweight. It's where he's best, and where he was the light heavyweight champion for LFA. On the other side, Nergoje made his debut, missed weight by 5 pounds at light heavyweight, which is tough, and then got Kimura'd by Brenson Ribeiro, excuse me, in a Kimura which any like blue belt would be able to defend. So I didn't like that. Uh, Salty Baldiev is going to be your big favorite, minus 210, DR plus 180. Um, Stats, Soti Baldiev is going to be a little bit older, 2 inches of height and 5 inches of reach. So, Jeannie, I'll let you kick this one off, which unfortunate because I was kind of hoping to make you take the next one. But first fight, first pick, where are you going here?
So I don't like Nurgazai's striking just based off that first UFC fight against Brenson Ribeiro. He did not look amazing, and he has this weird thing with his eye. He always is reaching and grabbing his
Yeah.
eyeball. I hate that. I don't know what that is. I don't know how he went 10-0 with something like a tick like that. And Yuran Satibaldiev has like a 6-inch reach advantage on Nurgazai. I think that's going to be a massive part of this fight. And Satibaldiev is just going to be bigger than Nurgazai. He's dropping down from heavyweight. He wasn't like a massive heavyweight, but he's going to have that size on Nurgazai. And I could see him submitting Nurgazai again or TKOing him. But I think Satibaldiev is going to win this one by a finish, however it happens.
So I think he's going to win. At the same time, I'm not 1,000,000% sure because both these guys look kind of weird. They both have really weird last fights. Um, I think if it stays on the feet, I would actually favor DR Ngozi in this one. But I do think it's going to be a little bit of a grind. I think there's going to be some wrestling, and I think Salty Diaz, he just has the better competition in my opinion. I mean, he didn't go through Contender Series, but the Contender Series guy is kind of a bum that Ngozi fought, and Emiliano Sordi. Like, what are we doing here? Like he has some good guys. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't think that. The level of competition is there. Would it surprise me if DR won? No. Am I going to put any line here in any any sort of best bet? Not at all. Maybe we'll see with the props drop. But next one up, 135 bantamweights. From South Korea, Soo Young Yu, one of my favorite nicknames in the game, Jiu-Jitsu, is a -1. Let me get this number right. 40 favorite against Long Zhao, who is from China. Long Zhao is 27-9. Su Young is 15-3. So these guys, they're new to the UFC, but they are not new to fighting. Yu is 2-0 in the UFC, and he won the Road to UFC season. Zhao also won Road to UFC and is 1-1. He's coming off a KO over Quan Li. Um, Stats are pretty, sorry, for the most part, pretty similar, except for reach. Zhao has a 5-inch reach advantage, 2 inches of height, and Jiu-Jitsu is going to be a few years older. Now, Jeannie, this one's kind of tough for me because I when I saw this fight, granted, I don't know these guys too well, right? But there's something in me that really, really, really wanted to pick Jiu-Jitsu. A little bit of he was a little higher of a favorite. I think he was -160 earlier in the week. He's from a better camp, and Long Zhao has some losses. But I'm going with Long Zhao. I think again, this isn't one I'm running to put in my parlays, but we saw he has the power. He was up 2-0 on Quang Li and then KO'd him. Um, and he has some experience in against, it's the China regional scene. Don't get me wrong; these are not great guys, and he has losses too. He has losses, but I think the reach is going to be a big thing here. I think Su Yang Yu honestly should be. He was a flyweight once upon a time. I think he should be a flyweight, but some about the power and the reach makes me think we're going to go a little bit of an upset here. Home country turf too. I don't know if it's Shanghai or not, but oh yeah, Shanghai, China. Look at that. So not super confident, but give me Zhao.
Now, AJ Cunningham had a 6-inch reach advantage on Su Young Yu last fight?
Yeah, that's AJ Cunningham.
I mean, I'd give AJ Cunningham a bit more credit than Long Zhao.
Who would you pick, AJ Cunningham or Long Zhao
If they
in a fight?
fought,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know,
a
I could
toss
see
up.
AJ Cunningham winning. I could see
Wow.
AJ
Okay.
Cunningham winning that one.
All
But
right.
Su Young Yu handled AJ Cunningham pretty easily in that fight with the reach disadvantage. He's pretty good at finding his way inside, like with leg kicks, and then he kind of is able to use the leg kicks to make them not even think about a striking, and then he's in on a double leg or something, or he's inside and
Yeah.
he's landing a 1-2 on you. He's pretty good getting in range on these long guys, and I don't really like. I mean, I don't really rate Quang Lee that much.
Hmm.
I get he was like 8-0 before it, but I don't know. I think Su Young Yu handles Long Zhao. It might be a rocky fight at moments. There might be some big strikes landed on the other side, but I think Su Young Yu's gonna do what he needs to do to win a decision here over
Interesting.
Long Zhao.
Okay. Okay. Looks like we're in disagreement. It's a little more fun when we're in disagreement, right?
Yeah,
Um, I do not think we're going to be in disagreement on this next fight. -1300. I'm saying most up-to-date odds right now. -1300 Yija, +775 Weston Wilson. Poor Weston Wilson. Do you see those graphics they had for Hamzat where it's like average is -400 favorite or something like that? And all of his UFC fights. It's got to be Weston Wilson's got to have one of the larger average closing odds. I'm looking +800, +625, +280, +775, which he's a bigger underdog here than he was against John Silva, which should tell you something. So Weston Wilson got his first UFC victory against Jekasaragi last time out. Before that, brutally knocked out twice. Ija on the other side. This is, by the way, excuse me. Um, uh, lost in the UFC after winning Road to UFC. Sorry, he was in the UFC. No, this was a Road 2 fight. He lost Road 2, came back, won it, lost to Gabriel Santos last time out, September of last year. So it's been a little bit. Um, Despite losing in the UFC. He is still minus 1400 favorite. He is 8 years younger. Weston Wilson, on the other hand, is going to have 5 inches of reach and, sorry, 2 inches of reach, 5 inches of height. So, Jeannie, this one's back to you. You were giddy to pick this one. You've been talking about these odds all day. Does that mean you're going
So
with Yi Jia here or Weston Wilson?
I made a joke about Weston Wilson. I don't. You can't pick him here. You can't. There's a reason
No?
he's that big of a favorite. Weston Wilson has damn near lost every. He's lost every single way you could imagine. He's been knocked out multiple times. He's been submitted multiple times, and he's lost multiple decisions. Yija could win any way he wants in this fight. But he's mostly a submission guy when you actually look at his record. He's got
Yeah.
13 of his 25 wins are submission wins. So, I mean, I'm totally leaning towards that compared to a knockout or a decision. I think he could knock down Weston Wilson, and he might even hop on like a guillotine or something when he knocks him down. I could see something like that where Yija jumps a submission after he knocks down Weston Wilson. But I'm gonna say Yija by a submission is gonna be
I
the
don't know.
pick.
I looked long and hard at this. Wilson Wilson's a good grappler. That's if Weston Wilson's going to win, it's going to be on the ground. I believe he's training with Ryan. No, he's training with Wonder Boy, but he has trained with Ryan Hall in the past. I do remember that because he does a few Ryan Hall things, and I looked it up. You're probably right, and I am going to pick Yijia, but something in me is like, why Yijia should not be this big of a favorite? Maybe I'm looking at a plus 3.5 here for Wilson, plus 5.5 even. If plus 200 or something. Um, but yeah, kind of three weird fights to start us off. This is another weird one coming up next, but I'm pumped for it. Middleweights. Uh, Michelle de Molador Pereira is going up against the returning Kyle the Darce Knight Dawkins. I do love Darces. Um, Demolador is the big favorite. I have him here at minus three, 275 plus 235 for Dawkins. This is a short notice re-debut we were talking about. Pereira on a bit of a skid, two-fight losing streak after getting Hernandez took his soul, Fluffy. And then Dawkins, he lost three, two straight in the UFC, and then won four straight, all by finish. No, sorry, three or four by finish on the regional scene. Defended the CFFC belt back a bunch, and he's coming back here. Gonna have 3 inches of reach and 2 inches of height for Dawkins. And despite that, I feel like Michelle Pereira should be much older, but Dawkins is only a year older. So kind of surprising to me. I'm going Michelle Pereira here. I'm not super confident because Kyle Dawkins is good. He is a guy who is UFC level. This is a good return for him. He beat Jamie Pickett. Um, he beat Dustin Stoltzfus. And then he lost to some good guys, kind of. Roman Dolidze when Roman Dolidze was him. Brendan Allen, Phil Hawes, Eric Anders. Getting finished by Eric Anders, not a good look. But Michel Pereira, I feel like he's just gonna, if he has anything left, if he's not a shell of himself, he's just gonna steamroll Kyle Dawkins here. First round knockout. Maybe we get like one of those knocked out submissions that he got on who was the Ukrainian dude he got him on? The where he like kneed him in the face. Anyway, I feel like we're gonna get something crazy in the first 90 seconds from Pereira, and that's where I'm going here. Genie?
I'm also going Michelle Pereira. I know I'm scared for this one.
Yeah?
Kyle Dawkins, he's on a run in CFFC, but
Yeah.
Michelle Pereira should like he's got the UFC experience. He's got good power in his hands, and he is on a two-fight losing stint. But like Fluffy is incredible. Fluffy's gonna be fighting for a title, I think, after one more fight. So I don't
You could
really
just
hold
give it
that
to
loss
him.
against him. Sorry,
You could just give the title shot to Fluffy now. I'm seeing people talk about it.
you could, but there's already are like it's backed up a little bit. But
Yeah, yeah.
I don't really hate the two losses he has. Like I mean, Abus is a little worse, and he does have an obvious cardio issue. That's not going to be fixed in 3 months. but I don't really see Kyle Dawkins dragging him to deep waters. I see Michelle Pereira finding the early knockout or submission over Kyle Dawkins.
Hmm.
So that's going to be what I pick. Michelle Pereira early KO.
Yeah, that's my thought. It's just another weird one. Um, but that one's going to be entertaining. I don't really think there's going to be a. Well, I said that about his last fight to Pereira, and that was not a good one. But you know what? I guess we will see. That's what MMA is for, huh? Um,
Hopefully he's worried about the fight more than the walkout.
oh God, I can't do another one of those. All right, next up we got Rong Zhu versus Austin Hubbard. Thud Hubbard is a plus 235 underdog, minus 280 for Rong Zhu. Hubbard is 8 years older. He is going to have an inch of height, same reach. He is on a two-fight losing streak and has lost three of four since coming back off top. I'm not really sure why they're giving him another one here, but they are. Rangju also coming back, but he is 1-1 since coming back. He beat Cody Steele in a great fight. He was a big underdog last time out. Um, and yeah, not too much more to say here. Rangju still 25, kind of weird, but yeah, he's had tons of fights on the regional scene in China. He is from Sichuan, China. Huishi, Sichuan, China. Not sure where that is, but they're going to be cheering for him. So, Jeannie, this one's all you. Where are you going here?
So Rong Zhu, he was having a great performance against Taco Padilla, man. This dude was
Hmm.
dogging it out on the feet. The only reason that fight ended was because he had a brutal cut underneath his eye. Like Taco was winning, but he was still dogging it out with Taco Padilla, and I think Taco's really good. So that loss ages pretty well in my books, and he just beat
Yeah.
Cody Steele, who was a massive favorite against him, and he kind of figured out Cody Steele on the feet and his grappling, and I don't see what Austin Hubbard can do to win this one. I think Rongzhu's too physical on the feet. I like his striking. I don't see control time. That's I
Yes.
don't see how Hubbard does good in this one. I think
So I'm getting
Rongzhu is going to be beating him up
getting
a
some
range to a decision.
some news of some potential fights being made. I'll tell you about it later. Maybe we'll talk about
Ooh.
it here soon. Um, yeah, I think Rongju's kind of gonna beat him up on the feet. Um, I mean, the takedown defense is pretty good, 84%. Uh, it is like you were talking about the competition. It's it's interesting. It's interesting. Do you remember he fought Kazula Vargas in his debut? I completely blanked on that fight. Um, yeah, it lands at like almost twice the clip that Austin Hubbard does. Hubbard isn't actually like they're pretty similar in their grappling stats, despite me thinking of Hubbard as a grappler. Maybe Todd has a chance to get a knockout or grind against a cage. I don't know. But yeah, wrong juice to pick here pretty easily. Next one, this is one of the ones I thought about the most, I'll be honest. And it's one of my favorite fights on the card. Minus 200, Lonnie Loner Kavanaugh. I heard somebody call him Lonnie today and it stuck in my head. Versus plus 170, Charles Johnson. The vet, Johnson Energy, he's going to be 8 years older. He is a vet. He's going to have 5 inches of height, 3 inches of reach. He's coming off that Ramzan Tamirov loss. I thought he won. Before that, he had won four straight. Uh, Loner Kavanaugh is 2-0 in the UFC. He just beat Felipe Dos Santos by decision. So this one's me. I really wanted to pick Charles Johnson here, really badly. But I have to go Loner Kavanaugh. I think he's. I think his physical aspects are going to hurt him a bit here. Um, I guess this says 5'6" on UFC stats, 5'4" on Tapology for some reason, but uh, I think he can wrestle here. I think the threat of the takedown is going to hurt Charles Johnson a bit. 'Cause Charles Johnson, it's just a striking fight, will probably win. He's a little more active, and he's got good defense and good chin. But I think Kavanaugh's probably has a little bit more power here. I think he's got more tools to win. Could I easily see Charles Johnson gun this out? Yet another Charles Johnson beats a prospect fight in a heartbeat. But something I really like Loner Kavanaugh. He's going to be the favorite, or he's going to be the hometown hero too. He is part Chinese. He says he's fighting out of China, or sorry, London, England, but from like repping the Chinese flag. You know, take your mileage on that. From what I've heard, he is like born and raised in England and just has a Chinese parent. But anyway, but yeah, I'm super excited for this fight. You could put this as the third from the top easily, in my opinion. But you know what? We'll talk about that fight later. Are you with me? Are you going Chucky Johnson here?
So going with Loner Kavanaugh, I think he's just got the bigger upside at this point.
Hmm.
Charles Johnson has beat some good prospects in the past and upset
Yeah.
them, like the Joshua Van one um, comes to mind, obviously. But I see Loner Kavanaugh as he's crafty, man. He'll shoot a
Yeah.
takedown. He knows his striking. He's only got a 3 inch reach disadvantage. Usually Charles Johnson's working with a bit bigger
Ooh,
reach advantage than that, but 3 inches isn't that much. And I think Loner Kavanaugh will
no,
mix
that's
in
huge. What do you mean?
takedowns.
I'm
It's
gonna
no
keep
five
doing that.
inches. It's no 5 inches, but
It's no
Loner
five
Kavanaugh will mix
inches.
in takedowns, and then he's gonna win a decision. I think most likely. Charles
Yeah.
Johnson's hard to stop, is the thing.
Yeah, he's really hard to stop. I think it's only happened. Sorry, never happened. It happened in. I was looking. Not even amateur. I feel like there's something where I saw him get tapped. Maybe it was he took like a weird tough-ish fight for anyway. Um, but yeah, great fight, great fight. If Kavanaugh can get through him, Charles Johnson here, sky's the limit. Next up, Gage Young and Isir Maheshate. I feel like he just went by Maheshate before. Yeah,
Yeah,
am I wrong there? Um,
yeah. No, it was
who-
just Mahashate for a while.
okay, I'm gonna call Maheshate plus 107, Gage Young minus 127. These odds are crazy. Gage Young was like minus 180 start week. I don't know. Um, Maheshate, Chinese guy, Gage Young, USA, uh, 3 inches of height, 1.5 inch of reach for Maheshate. And these guys are both 25. Young guy, futures of the division, lightweight division. Probably not, but maybe they stick around for a little bit. Gage Young took a short notice fight against Evan Outer and lost that in April. And then he lost Clean Salt Kid before that on the Contender Series. Maheshate fought in November on the last UFC China card and lost to Nicholas Mota, even though he was a big favorite in that card or in that fight. Um, so this one's all you, Jeannie. Let's hear it.
This is actually the toughest fight for me on the whole card. I don't know
Really?
why.
Wow.
I don't know why. I don't know. Something about this one really has me scratching my head. Um, I don't really give Mahashate a lot of credit. I don't know. The Gabriel Benitez fight, that's his only UFC win. It was a split decision there.
Yep.
I don't know. I think I picked Gage Young to beat Evan Elder. It was short
Really? You
notice
did?
though. It was. I think I might have.
What do you
I
mean?
can't remember
Maheshate beat
actually.
Steve
I could.
Garcia.
Huh?
Maheshate beat
Mahashate
Steve
beat.
Garcia.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Sorry,
Ah,
I
yeah. I
interrupt you.
guess. Hmm. I don't know, man. I think I'm going with. I think I'm going Gage Young.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have very low confidence in this one, but I get he beat Steve Garcia, but like that might at this point I think that's just a bad night in the office for Steve Garcia. You
Yeah.
rerun that back, you think Machate beats him again?
Probably not. I don't know. They were both young though. That's the thing. They're so much younger than
Yeah,
they are now.
that's true. But I think I'm going Gage Young by decision. Low
All right.
confidence.
I think I'm also going Gage Young. I think that This is going to be a stand-up fight. Gay Jung um, is he has shot takedowns before in some of the regional fights I was watching of him, but uh, he is. This is going to be a stand-up fight, and I I I think the power's a little there. He lands a little bit more. The close reach, it's like, one of those fights where you don't really know what's going to happen. Like the Nicholas Mota fight, I didn't really know who was going to win that, but Nicholas Mota, is using power to KO, not KO him, to put a little fear in his heart. I think Gage Young can do the same and bring a little American spirit to that old Shanghai indoor stadium. Well, yeah, next up, welterweights, Kiefer Crosby versus Lake Nurjai. That's what we're going to go with. Super Saiyan Nurjai. I do like that nickname. Huge favorite. Mine's 350. Kiefer Crosby. BDK. I got nothing for you. B darn Kiefer. I don't know. Plus 280. Kiefer is 0-2 in the UFC, coming off a arm triangle choke to Sam Patterson last July. Uh, Nurjay is making his debut. He is from China. It just says China. Doesn't say. Well, he's fighting out of Sichuan, China, but it doesn't say where he was born. Uh, Straight debut. Kind of weird. I mean, this is a short notice bout, but interesting they go with this guy. I mean, it makes sense with him being there, but like any other spot in the world, they're not signing this guy. Um, but yeah. Let's read off the stats. Nurjay is going to have a 6.4-inch reach advantage, is kind of where they go to point 0.4, 3 inches of height, and he's going to be 11 years younger. This one is me. I'm going Nurjay here. Kiefer Crosby's been knocked out twice, or submitted twice. Before that, he was knocked down in both of those fights, if I remember correctly, and he has a bunch of losses on the regional scene, including to Mike Jackson, of all people. Nurjay has a bunch of KOs. He has been KO'd himself, but that was a late one. Maybe like a cardio thing. Hopefully he shored that up. I haven't really seen a ton of film on him, especially coming in so early. But the one thing that does give me a little hesitation is Kiefer Crosby has been training with is it Nick Stick or is it the Fighting Nerds that he's with now? It's one of those two. I want to say it's Nick Stick, but he's been trained. He didn't have a camp for 4 fights straight, and now he does. But I think he's giving up too much here, and Nurjay's going to style in his hometown. You agree with me, Jeannie?
So I did actually watch one of Tayalake's fights.
Okay. Wow.
He fought
Jeannie with the
he fought
pronunciation.
Ki Wang. He fought Ki
E
Wang
Wang. Wow.
or Wang Ki. However, I don't know the order there, but
Okay.
his striking looked not bad. Like he got like a third round TKO against the fence, but
Yeah.
I don't know. That was like back in 2021. He was pretty young at that point. He's probably progressed a bit, but that's the only fight I could find footage on, and that was on Fight
Yeah.
Pass. Kiefer Crosby, the BDK one, I looked it up. It means Big Daddy Keef, which is the name that his
Uh,
training partners gave him when he was at his
ah,
first gym.
all right. I hate that. Okay.
Yeah.
Gross.
But
Ugh.
yeah, I think Tailake is gonna style on Kiefer Crosby. And did he really not have a training camp for 4 fights in a row? That's awful.
Yeah. Yeah. No, training camp, yes, but he didn't have like a head coach
Oh,
because
that's
he left
terrible.
SBG.
That's awful. Well, yeah, I. This is a weird one though. He's 35 and Tailake is 24. That's a big discrepancy, like a big reach or a big age discrepancy there.
Hmm.
So maybe Crosby has like the grown man strength and all that, but I still think Naraji is gonna win this one by a KO. I think.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I
Yeah.
didn't want to pick because it's these guys coming in. It's so like I never like picking methods, but KO, I don't hate it. He's got pretty much exclusively KOs. So,
Yeah.
um, all right. Well, let's jump up to the next fight in the main card: Kevin Borjas versus Sumaderji. Borjas, El Gallo Negro, is 2 years younger. He is giving up 3 inches of height and 4 inches of reach to Sumaderji, and this is at flyweight. Borjas got his first UFC win last time out against Ronaldo Rodriguez, and Sumaderji is taking. Um, oh wait, no, he did fight. He beat Mitch Raposo by split decision uh, after a three-fight losing streak. Odds wise, Sumaderji minus 158 favorite to Borjas plus 138. This one is all you, Genie. Where are you going here?
I, this is a tough one for me because Sumadeji, his movement is really good. He looked pretty good on the feet against Mitch Raposo, but he had a massive reach advantage on Mitch Raposo. I think it was more than 4 inches. I want to say,
I'll check that.
but I think Borjas won. His striking also looked really dialed in against Lazy Boy in his last one. Um,
Eight
like
inches.
really dialed in. 8 inches, yeah, on Mitch Raposo. That's massive. And I
Hmm.
think Borjas, I don't know. I see Borjas kind of coming into his. I don't want to say prime or anything, but maybe he goes on a few fight win streak here. I
Ooh,
I think Kevin Borjas is
interesting.
going to start putting it together. I really liked how he looked against Lazy Boy. I looked like a fool for picking Lazy Boy against him. And I'm not going to fall for it again. I think Kevin Borjas could find the chin of Sumaderji, even though he's never been
Okay.
knocked out before. Maybe not, maybe not. Um, but I'm going to pick Kevin Borjas to win this fight by decision.
I am gonna pick him to win. I'm gonna pick him to win by KO. Actually, I don't know. Sumadirji just did not look great against Mitch Raposo. Six takedowns from Raposo, and that was a split against a guy. I don't rate Raposo very high at all. Um, and you remember that Tim Elliott uh, was kind of beating him up a little bit. Charles Johnson dropped him.
Tim
I think
Elliott?
he's yeah. Tim Elliott was beating up
Tim
Sumadirji.
fucking Elliott?
Yeah, okay.
Tim Elliott?
Old man Elliott was beating up Sumadirji. And it's kind of crazy to say because he's only what? How would I say he was 29? But feels like we're kind of past his prime. I don't know. He lost the match. Schnell, Tim Elliott, and Charles Johnson back to back to back. It's
That's
not
tough.
great. I
That is
don't
a
love that.
tough.
And I love Kevin Borjas. He's going to put out a little bit more uh, of a pace. He can take a hit, and I don't know if Sumaderji can to the extent that they're going to be trading. So give me Borjas as well. Next fight, heavyweights, Sergey Pavlovich. Whew. You seen those lines? You've seen these lines, right?
Yeah.
Minus 236, Waldo Cortez Acosta plus 201. Salsa Boy uh, is coming off that win against Sergey Spivak, and he is on a one, two, three, four, five-fight winning streak. Five-fight winning streak. Pavlovich, he had a three-fight losing streak, two-fight losing streak, and then he won against Jairzinho in February. Very boring fight. These guys are both 33, pretty much same height. And then reach, Pavlovich, he's going to have a 6-inch reach advantage. Um, this one is me. I'm going Salsa Boy here. Is that a surprise or what? Um, I thought he was going to be a minus 150, minus 180. Granted, Pavlovich is like okay, Tom Aspinall is not a bad loss at all, right? We're in agreement there. Perfectly excusable. He didn't beat the best heavyweight, possibly of all time. Like he got beat up by Alexander Volkov. If I remember correctly, that was a 30-27. Wasn't even close. Um, yeah, 83 to 46 significant strikes for Volkov. And he Pavlovich didn't look great against Jairzinho. I mean, Jairzinho didn't look great either, but he just kind of got like he sat on him for 3 rounds. And I think the only way I think WCA wins or loses here is if the Sergey Pavlovich of old comes out and just starts throwing. I don't know if he's going to do that. I don't think he will. And I think Waldo Cortez Acosta, even if he does, he can stay a little safe. He can. Ugh. I don't love it, but actually, you know what? I do love it. I do love it. WCA all the way. Let's go.
Oh man. Oh man. I have to pick a winner.
You do have to pick a winner.
Listen, I Pavlovich got knocked out with a 6-inch reach advantage against Tom Aspinall 3 fights ago. He had a
Hmm.
4-inch reach advantage on Volkov.
Yep.
I don't trust Pavlovich at all anymore. It's
No.
this is the scariest thing, man. I I think Waldo Cortez Acosta is gonna win, and he's been really putting it together recently. I don't know. He gets a lot of hate for that Andrei Arlovsky performance, I think, just because he was styling on Andrei Arlovsky, but
Yeah.
he did look really good against Sergey Spivak. Despite getting taken down twice in the fight, he still outstruck Spivak 2-1 in both of the rounds, at least 2-1 in both of the rounds that he got taken down in. So
Hmm.
I I do like that about Waldo Cortez Acosta. I'm starting to trust him on the feet a bit more. And
Yeah.
do you think he could knock out Sergey Pavlovich?
No. Pavlovich is
No,
pretty
didn't he?
durable.
I don't know. Yeah, you are right. You are right. He knocked out Ryan Spann though.
He did
He did knock
knock
out
out
Ryan
Ryan
Spann.
Spann, the GOAT. The GOAT.
But listen, if who do you think would mix in takedowns to win this fight? Would it? I think it would be Pavlovich after that
Probably.
Rosenstrike performance.
Probably. But I don't hate WCA, like it's 66% takedown, but he's been shortened up lately, you know?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't know,
know.
man. I'm pretty scared when I say this.
Yeah? You want to lock it in?
No, I'm gonna go Sergey. No, fuck. I'm flipping a coin. I'm gonna flip a coin right now. We're doing it live.
Okay.
We're doing it live. I'm flipping a coin, and we're going with whoever I land on. Heads is Sergey. I'm going Sergey Pavlovich to beat
Oh,
Waldo Cortez Acosta.
oh
Listen,
boy.
I think
All
if anyone
right.
mixes in takedowns, it's gonna be Sergey, and I don't. It will be a boring fight. I think it's not gonna live up to our expectations. I'm going Sergey
Probably.
Pavlovich as per the coin.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Maybe this is gonna have to be a something going forward. We do the coin for when you get really in your head. Anyway, let's move
Yeah.
on. Brian Ortega versus Aljamain Sterling, 5 round co-main event, 145. Funkmaster, I was a little surprised here. Big favorite, minus 240, plus 205 for Brian Ortega. Um, 2 years older, Sterling at 36. He's going to be giving up an inch of height, but he's going to have 2 inches of reach for T City. Ortega coming off that UD loss to Diego Lopez at Sphere almost a year ago. Sterling coming off that UD loss to Movsar back in December. So this one is you, Jamie. Pretty odd fight between two guys, 5 rounds. Do you think that makes a difference? And who you picking here?
This is a 5 round?
Oh yeah, you didn't see that? 5 round
Why
co-main,
is this a
baby.
5 round?
I don't hate it.
That's
I don't hate
crazy.
it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to say Aljamain Sterling beats Brian Ortega at this stage in his career.
Yeah.
I I can't trust Brian Ortega. Uh, Even though he came back and he beat Yair Rodriguez, I don't know. I still don't really rate Yair Rodriguez. I don't really rate Brian Ortega. It's a weird stage of the 145-pound contenders that I don't rate.
Yeah.
Brian Ortega is one of them. Aljamain Sterling, though, he came up and he looked not terrible against Mobzo Evloev. That was a pretty
No.
close fight. And I don't know. I really liked how his grappling looked. And it's, even though he lost, some of the stuff that he's pulling on Mobzo Evloev, I don't think Brian Ortega at this stage in his career is going to be defending that. Who knows? Maybe it's just second nature at this point. But I think Aljamain Sterling's going to win. The fact that this is a 5 rounder makes it harder to call a decision for sure. But
Hmm.
that's how it's going to go, right? It's going to be Aljo 5 round decision.
I feel like if you're betting Aljo, you kind of have to do by decision, right?
Yeah, but you're picking Brian Ortega?
I really want to. I really want to. Am I stupid? I like Aljo. I have an Aljo shirt too, but listen, okay, how has Brian Ortega lost recently? Uh, Volk got beat up on the feet, right? Almost won that too. Diego Lopez got beat up on the feet, takedown stuff. Yair Rodriguez, shoulder injury. Max Holloway got beat up on the feet, right? But he has some wins. He beat Yair. He beat Zombie on the feet. Granted, that's it since like 2018, but Aljamain Sterling is he's not going to get the decision, or he's not going to get a submission. I don't think he could. I don't even know if he's going to win the striking. Maybe, probably, but like, are you confident that he'd win the striking against Brian Ortega? This one's real tough for me. You know what? Why not? Let's go Brian Ortega. He finds a Gilly. Aljamain, maybe he gasses a little bit. He never had the greatest cardio. Maybe he gassed a little bit. Brian Ortega, maybe he's just a little bit bigger and snatched up one of um those gillies that he got on who is that? No, it wasn't Frankie Edgar that he got the gilly on. It was Cub Swanson and Money Moicano. So give me Brian Ortega. I'm excited for the grappling scrambles though. I'm not gonna be excited if this turns into a striking match though. Oof, no way. Last fight, main event, and we'll get out of your hair. Already been going a while for this card. Minyang Zhang versus Johnny Walker. Uh, Johnny Walker is a big underdog, plus 290. Zhang Minyang, hometown favorite, minus 365. Walker's been out for a minute. He lost by punches in June of last year, had two canceled fights since then. Got injured and pulled out of both of them. Now he's in this main event. Zhang is 3-0 in the UFC, all first round knockouts. Beat Anthony Smith in April, retired him. Pretty bloody. Walker's going to have 4 inches of height and 7.3, weirdly, inches of reach. He's going to be 6 years older, though. So this one's me, Min Yang Zhang, round one KO. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Why is this only minus 365? Why is this not like if you told me he was a minus 1300, I'd understand it. Um, Under 1.5, minus 190. Like, what are we doing here, Genie?
Yeah. What's your favorite whiskey? Johnny Walker. What do I do? The duty free? Fucking Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker.
No,
Uh,
listen. I don't know what the fuck Zhang Mingyang did to get this path in the light
oh my
heavyweight
God.
division, man.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. You want to read them out?
Yeah.
Go back to
Easy.
Road 2. No, if somehow his hardest fight.
Road to UFC. Tuco Tokos. What
Goat.
a. That's not what you were looking for?
No, he's the GOAT. What do you mean?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, he beat Tuco. Had
Yep.
Tuco folded up against the fence, man. Then he gets Brenson Hibero, who's
Yep.
notoriously been knocked out a couple times. Ozzy Diaz, and then Anthony Smith.
Yep.
And that's his UFC run so far. And I mean, I'm not dissing him. I was just saying, what the bro is paid and bought for by the CCP for sure.
Oh
Why
yeah.
the fuck is he getting this run to the title, man? He's getting the fast
He,
track. They
he's
strapped a rocket to him.
he's getting all the knocked out artists
Yeah.
of light heavyweight. And then they're probably going to give him what? Jamal Hill after this? Another knocked out artist?
Hey man, hey man, Jamal Hill. I might make a case for him there. But
You
listen,
can do
Johnny
that.
Walker. There's no way Johnny Walker survives more than 2 minutes in this fight. I hate to
No.
say it. I don't know why he signed this contract. I really
Needs money,
don't.
baby. Needs money. That's sweet dollar bills. Somehow he's still headlining. I don't hate it, but like, how is he headlining? Really?
Do you give him any chance to land? That's all you can really do. But do you give him a chance to land like a flying knee or like a?
No. If he's gonna win, he's gonna take him down, right?
You
Try to
think
take him
so?
down.
You don't think there's a single chance he can land a power or just a single strike on the feet that knocks out Mengyang Zhang?
No.
No. Okay. All right. All right.
Uh, well, that's the
Yeah. Ming.
fight. That's the card. Uh, pretty good. Pretty good card. Just early morning. Looking forward to it.
It'll be fun.
Run through regional minute real quick. Non-UFC this week. I think. Let me just double check. I think it's all MMA. Yeah, all MMA. We got some. Oh wait, no, one kickboxing. Got some boxing next week. Um, let's see. So coming up on Tuesday, Dana White's Contender Series. Keep an eye out for our graphic coming out soon of our picks. Anybody on this card you're exceptionally excited for? Genie is kind of a weak one, but anything looking forward to?
On this
Have you
weekend?
seen it on this Contender Series card? Have you done
Oh,
your picks
oh,
yet?
no, I haven't. I haven't made my picks. I still need to get those done. Um, Not really.
Mm.
I looked over the names and none of them really jump off the paper, so I'll have to do a bit more research on them.
I think Jose Delano's the big guy. Maybe Lewis Lee Scott, but you know what? Maybe we get some.
Ramiro Jimenez, he looks like he might be.
No, he's a Kombache guy. I don't think much of Kombache guys, to be honest.
Okay.
But it should be exciting. After last week's card, it's going to be more exciting than that.
It's got to
Um,
be.
ACA Young, sorry, that's Tuesday. It's 8 p.m. They did a weird 7 p.m. for the first card. Um, ACA Young Eagles Thursday 10 a.m. free on their website. Excuse me, bunch of random guys. But if you like some finishes and up and coming prospects, go for it. PFL Road Tournament Finals. Last of the finals going down Thursday 6 p.m. ESPN Plus, ESPN main card. You have the middleweight and light heavyweight finals. So you got and heavyweight, excuse me. So last three, you got Fabian Edwards versus Dalton Rosta, uh, Antonio Carlos Jr., Shoeface versus Sullivan Colley, and Oleg Popov versus Alexander Romanov. Um, Also got some fun names on the card: Bryce Meredith, uh, Impa Kasanganay, Rasul Magomedov, Carl Williams, UFC washout, Josh Silveira. Yeah, there's some fighters here. Should be. This is my favorite, I think, of their like finals cards they've done. FFC 94, James Yantop is coming back to fight some dude in the main event Thursday at 8 p.m. on Fight Pass. If you want to watch it for some reason, if you like guys with neck tattoos that say FFC,
Is it
uh,
not James Lontop?
I would say James because he's like Peruvian, and that's how you would say it in like a Peruvian accent. You can say
All right.
James. I don't think he cares. Um, Road to UFC Shanghai Friday 6 a.m. I'm not going to be. Maybe I'll wake up. Maybe I'll throw this one on. But you got the second, I believe. These are the semifinals. Yeah, of the Road to UFC. You got a few names you might recognize. Aaron Tao's on there. He's in the semifinals. Um, Sebastian Salaze, however you say that. Australian featherweight. And then you also got two UFC fights. Weirdly enough, they're doing this. I like this. I think they should start doing this for Contender Series too. Just throwing fights that maybe nobody cares about except for the people in the arena. So you got Shi Ming versus Bruno Brazil in the main event, and then co-main uh, Tumen Dembrell versus Terrence Saturn, who's getting a turn at a UFC contract. Um,
It was supposed to be Tumen Dembril versus Ray Saruya, though. I saw. Saruya
yeah, it
pulled out.
was. It was. That was going to be good, but you know what? This should be good too. UFC fights on a Friday. Fury FC Friday at 6 p.m. Oh, sorry, that's on Fight Pass. This is also on Fight Pass. You have you. We were supposed to get the John Giannis versus Abdul Kamara fight, but Giannis got signed to lose to Bashi. And so now you have a. Uh, I actually don't know what they're gonna do for the main event. I don't know. But you got Nick Piccinini on there, Austin Lingo, some Contender Series guys, and UFC guys. LFA 215 Friday at 7 p.m. Also on Fight Pass. Richie Miranda versus Ile Barzilay. Uh, Lightweight Championship. Eduardo Henrique versus Devon Lojez. Flyweight Championship. So two fights where the winner's probably going to go to Contender Series, or at least they should. Um, Lux Fight League 54 Friday 8 p.m. also on Fight Pass. This guy Luis Ivan Rodriguez is somebody I've been keeping an eye on for a bit. In Lux, not like watching, but you keep an eye on some guys. Um, could go to Contender Series if they want some Mexican talent on this season, or maybe if they want to bring in a guy to lose to like an 80 level prospect. You remember Eagle FC, Genie?
Yeah.
Eagle FC is back. Eagle FC 56 tournament in memory of Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov. They got a bunch of guys who are like Asian regional scene. Like I wouldn't know any. I barely know anybody here. Nobody else would. But Saturday at 10 a.m. if you want to watch something after UFC, I guess. Glory 103 Saturday at noon. Kickboxing. They got Chico Quasi, their welterweight champion. I'm a fan. Levi Rickers, they're one of their star heavyweights. I'm almost done, I promise. Last one, Tough Enough 147, Saturday at 8 p.m. UFC Fight Pass. You got their light heavyweight championship. Adam Vigil, prospect, 11-1, probably on a contender series if he wins. And you got a few guys here who, oh, you got Jamal Pogues. How about that? You remember Jamal Pogues? He's fighting a dude. So plenty of
Can't
people
believe
are
he
going to
got
tune in
cut.
for that. And then UFC Fight Night Imavov versus Braulio in 2 weeks. You get a little week off, cheeky week off. Great main event, UFC Paris, early start time, 12 p.m. for the prelims. Jeannie, you know how we do it. Favorite Eunice Dubin is off the card. So besides that, favorite fight on the card.
Well, I gotta scramble and find a new favorite fight.
I can go
Um,
first if you want, but I'm gonna steal. I'm gonna steal an obvious. Actually, you know what? There's
I,
like three obvious ones here.
well, I'll go. I'll go first. I'll steal it right from under your nose. I'll go the co-main event. Benoit Saint Denis versus
Yeah.
Mauricio Ruffy. That's gonna be a banger, man. And I don't want to give away my pick already. I don't want to show my hand too early. But come on, what are we doing here? We know what's
Yeah.
happening in that one.
That'll be interesting. It will be interesting. His Hoofy's takedown defense is going to get tested. I'm going Patricio Pitbull versus Losine Kita. They signed Kita
Okay.
finally. A 16-1 featherweight. He's going to destroy Patricio Pitbull, in my opinion. He only has one loss, and that was because he broke his foot on a guy's uh, elbow, if I remember correctly, kicking his body. But he's been running through Europe, and he's going to make his debut and, in my opinion, are in a top 10 ranking. Yeah, a few other fights here, Sam Hughes of the world. You got the Sam Pattersons. Ante Delija is making his debut, but we'll be here to talk about it when that comes. So that is all for this week. Jeannie, thanks so much for joining me here. It's been a weekend, and you know what? We'll figure out something to do um, for all y'all next week when we don't have anything to predict or bet on. So thanks for coming on,
Thanks for
and
having me.
thank you for listening, for watching. Catch you next time. Have a good one.